comfortable on the chair. Have your knees kind of be at a 90-degree angle, and make sure you have a block and a strap close by to do the clasp. First posture that we'll do is called constructive rest pose. We'll do a little breathing first and a little constructive rest pose. So sitting on the chair is just basically sitting on the chair with a nice tall posture. So for me, this feels uncomfortable because I have some scoliosis, disc degeneration, bulging disc, that type of thing. So I grab my wrist, pull my shoulder up and away, and I do the same with the other side. And sometimes I find that my nose is kind of looking like back behind me. That kind of means my chin's jutting up here. So I'll take my hands back behind my head, lift the back of the head, and then kind of lengthen to where I've got that chin kind of tucked in towards my chest, chin more towards my chest. From here, constructive rest posture. This is a great one for releasing back tension. If you could do this for 5 to 10 minutes a day, that would help a lot with back pain. It can be done on the couch, it could be done on the bed if you do not like to get down to the floor. So just kind of know that, okay? So again, we're going to start with the breathing. Your palms can be out to the side of the body, but what I like to do is find my belly button and then take 2 or 3 finger widths below that belly button, and then hop my finger down below the bottom part of those 3 finger or 2 finger widths. That's called the dantian, or the low belly. And I place one center of my palm on that low belly and maybe one above it or below it. So probably above it. And then I make sure my shoulder feels relaxed. The hand kind of goes out to the side a little bit. So what this helps facilitate is noticing the low belly breathing, which is very beneficial for lowering your blood pressure, lessening your heart rate. So we're going to begin. So let's breathe in through the nose, nice and slow. The belly rises, the mid-belly and the chest rises when you do this. So go from the belly to the chest and then reverse that as you exhale. So here we go. Breathe in, belly big. And then exhale, let everything contract. So the belly is soft when you breathe in, and it's contracted as you exhale. Again, breathe in, belly big. And exhaling. If you need to make some adjustments with your body to lie here, please do so. Again, breathe in, belly big. And exhale. Relax those shoulders. Relax the behind. Relax the backside. Again, breathe in, belly big. And exhale. Beautiful. As we're lying here, let's squeeze the belly button towards the spine. Lift a foot up off the yoga mat, off the floor, and invite the knee in towards the chest. So you're going to notice how much of this leg is into your hip crease, if any. Is it into the side waist? Is it into the low rib? So it's going to be a little bit different seated in the chair. From here, let's go ahead and point and flex the foot. So we're doing some little ankle isolation, which helps you to have better gait, better walking ability. Also, it's, everything's kind of related from the ground up, from the feet to the head. So again, getting more mobility in the lower part of the body helps you with back pain. It's kind of a chain of command kind of thing going on here. And ankle circles, let's get that going on too. Notice what you feel here. You may feel things going around the ankle area, top of the foot. Go a little bit slower if you need to. Let's reverse that. Go the other direction. Oh, my foot just popped. My feet make a lot of noise. This one had a sprain. The other one I had surgery on. So my feet, I have challenges with better balance. So that's kind of why I like this back yoga class. And then relax and release this foot down to the floor. Let's do the other side. Again, squeeze the belly button. If you need to use your pant legs to make this happen, make it happen. And invite the other knee in towards your chest. And again, what you're going to notice, one side versus the other. Okay, is this leg more into my chest versus the other one? Does it feel spicy? Is there any difference? And usually those of us with back challenges, there are some differences. And while we're here, let's go ahead and point and flex. So this leg for me is more into my side waist as opposed to the other one was into the hip crease. And again, yours may not even be into your hip crease. So just kind of, know that, especially if you're seated in the chair. It's going to be a little bit different, working gravity in a different kind of way. And again, let's do some ankle circles or ankle rectangles, whatever shape they are, right? And again, you may notice it feels maybe less range of motion, more range of motion, maybe a bigger circle, a smaller circle, or in my case, maybe it's ovals. I'm not sure if it's circles or not. And then let's reverse, go the other way. And always when I do reverse on this right foot, for me, it feels a little different than the other one, okay? Feels a little bit more stiff, I think is the word that I'm trying to use here. And the shin typically gets a little tired because you are using your shin muscles, whereas you may not notice your shin muscles front of the lower leg. And release the foot down to the floor. All right, from here, shake the legs, whether you're seated, whether you're lying here on your back. You tend to get leg cramps. One way to kind of lessen the ability to get leg cramps is to daily shake your legs. And if you can, it might be difficult lying on your back, but kind of stomp your feet. Shaking the house. And then relax and release that. That's a little bit of lymphatic drainage also. Next posture is called the notice pose. So we're going to extend the leg all the way down towards the edge of the yoga mat and extend the leg, and you're on the back of the heels seated on the chair. And then do the other one. I'm kind of slow on the second side. Very good. So you're going to notice, okay, how does it feel in this kind of hip complex? Does it feel tight? What about the low back, the upper back, this places between the upper and lower back, the calves, that type of thing. So this is kind of like a snapshot on, how you feel in your body at this moment. Okay, very good. So we're going to squeeze the belly button towards the spine, slide a foot back into the yoga mat, back onto the floor, back to its original position. And then next we're going to do big toe hold. So grab your yoga strap, or you can, again, do this class without gear, but I highly recommend using the gear. It makes the postures more effective for easing back challenges. And we're going to kind of take the middle part of the strap and place your foot along that middle part and extend your leg up into the air. Now, those of you seated, you can rest on the back of the heel with the leg out in front of you. What we're trying to do is have the foot be aligned with the shin, the knee. And what I invite you to do is you can bend the knee and push the strap, the foot away, and then pull on the strap. We're trying to invite dynamic contraction here. So you might be feeling this in the belly of the hamstring, maybe in the behind, maybe the back of the knee, the calf. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring my hands down the strap a little bit and then wrap my wrists because we're trying to vigorously hold on to the strap. So pull, push. Whew. Goodness. I noticed a few new names in the room, so welcome to class. Again, it's a beginner's class. We're doing some simple, effective postures for easing back challenges. I myself have a 40-degree angle shifting and rotation in my spine, scoliosis, retrolithiasis, spinal stenosis. Let's see, what else? Disc degeneration, bony spurs. What else? There's another one. Oh, I can't remember. There's 5 or 6 of them. But I don't have sciatica. That's only because I do this pretty regular on a regular basis. And we stay in this yoga posture 30 seconds to a minute, 12 seconds to get the bone building benefit. Big muscular contraction held will stimulate bone growth. So that's a good thing. And this is a posture that we use for easing back challenges. Now, the other foot, let's tap, tap, tap the other foot. And then drop that knee out to the side. So it's kind of half of a windshield wiper. The leg that's in the sky, we're going to drop it towards the floor at an angle here. Or just, to kind of drop it. Now, I'm trying to keep both back sides of my buns on the chair. So I'm pulling and pushing. And I'm going to feel this also in my forearms, in my hands, in my shoulders, maybe in my back, especially your back if you're seated in the chair during this posture. You're being vigorous. So one way to increase your grip strength is to use a grip. So your hands may start to tingle in this because we're trying to be vigorous in pulling and pushing into that strap. Now, if there's spicy stuff happening in the back of the knee, bend the knee, but keep flexing the heel toes toward you. Just don't let that strap slip off, okay? You can do this pose without the gear, but it's not as effective. So, if you don't have gear right now, do the class. I'm sending out a recording of this class later so you can, repeat the class and notice the difference, okay? Now, squeeze the belly button towards the spine. Bring everything back to the center. And you know what? Release the strap. Clap your hands. Woo. Rub into the palms of the hands and then move it into the fingers. Get some circulation going back on, okay? Very good. Now let's switch the strap into the other foot. Now I'm just going to bring the other foot up and take the other foot out. Okay, so I'm resetting up on the second side. So again, I'm making sure at the halfway point. Okay, so I'm going to pull on that strap, bend my knee, push that strap away. Woo! You may notice your low back firmly press into the yoga mat. And again, notice at the top of the feet, or the feet turn out to the side. Line them up with the top of the ankle, the shin, the knee. So my hands are kind of like extended out into the air towards my feet. So what I'm going to do is slide my hands down the strap and then wrap my wrists for a little bit easier hold so I can still very effectively pull, push, and then I kind of squeeze in my shoulders towards my spine to get a little upper body building, strength building going on too. And then I'm looking at my toes. Although I can't see my toes because I've got trifocals, so it looks kind of fuzzy. So I kind of have to move my glasses to a different angle to see my feet. I mean, I can see my feet, but it's not clear, okay? Not that y'all care, but I'm just giving you some anecdotal kind of information. So are you vigorously pulling and pushing? Do you feel your forearms, your upper arms, your back muscles? I'm going to say that you probably do. Yeah? Okay. Now, with the other foot, we're going to tap, tap, tap that other foot and then drop the knee out to the side. Woo! Feels spicy already. And then this leg that's in the sky, let's drop it out. Now, I've got the wall here, but you know I can't go too far. I've got another yoga teacher in the area. He was a Vietnam War veteran, and he can bring the leg all the way down to the floor without the opposite side raising up. I'm just really, jealous of his ability to be able to do that. But he's done yoga for a long time. And again, are you pulling and pushing? I hope so. Oh my. Just know, if you need to take breaks, please do so. You don't have to stay in the yoga posture. But if you can, please stay in the yoga posture. Okay? And we're staying here just a little bit more. That means you get to hear me talk a little bit because we got to stay here again 30 seconds at least to get that bone building benefit. BBB, bone building benefit. All right, now we're going to bring everything back to the center. So squeeze the belly button towards the spine. Release the strap. Go ahead and release it from the foot. And they feel kind of stiff, those hands. So clap the hands. Rub some heat into the palms so you can kind of go back and forth like you're making meatballs or something like that. I don't know. Playing with Play-Doh. Not that we were playing with Play-Doh, but if you have any grandkids, maybe you do, yeah? And then rub it into the fingers. Very good. Now, I mentioned at the beginning of class that golfer's grip where we fold the fingers into the pads of the hands, okay? We're going to do that next. But we got to find our yoga block. Whether you're seated, whether you're lying on your back, we're going to take that block in between the legs and kind of heel toe the feet in a little bit to where you feel that inner thigh contraction going on. I'm going to move my strap out to the side. Very good. And so, where your pain is typically is maybe not where your problem is. It might be a referred pain. So we strengthen upper back musculature in addition to everything in the hip complex, okay? So what we're going to do is go into that golfer's grip. So fold the fingers into the pad of the hand and have the hands out in front of you like you're getting ready to fly. You're a super person here. And then we're going to turn the thumbs towards the center of the body. So it kind of looks like, yeah, okay. And then we're going to bend the elbows so it's parallel forearms to the floor if you're seated in the chair. But if you're lying on your back of the arms on the floor. Now, keep a constant squeeze of the block, but it's not like 100%, but a nice, it's there type of squeeze. And what we'll do with the back of the arms, the shoulders, we're going to press the back of the arms, the shoulders into the yoga mat and release. Keep the golfer's grip. Press and release. Let's do 3 more. Press and release. Squeeze that block. Press and release. 1 more. Big old squeeze right here. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Release the hands. Clap the hands in front of your chest. Get some feeling going back on. I can't quite get my right hand fingers down to my palm. I just do the best I can. And now let's work some on the shoulders, shall we? So we're going to interlace the fingers in front of our chest, and if you're lying on your back, let your shoulders, come down to the yoga mat, and look at your elbows. Make sure they're pointing in the same direction. My right one likes to flare out. I don't know why. Maybe because I did a hairline fracture on that left one. Who knows, right? And I'm doing squeezy palms here. Now, with a tight core, belly button towards your spine, super straight arms. Now, this is more difficult seated in the chair, but do what you can, okay? We're going to bring the arms up and overhead. Now, we're going slow, okay? You're probably noticing some core muscles being activated here. Again, super straight arms. And there's like a natural stopping point. So I'm here on the side of my glasses for this first round. Now I'm going to wiggle my thumbs to keep my palms squeezy here. And again, with some nice tight core, belly button towards your spine, bring the hands back in front of your chest, super straight arms. Release the hands, clap the hands, rub the hands. Oh, get some feeling going back on. And guess what? Yes, go back to that golfer's grip, okay? Turn the thumbs to the center, and then bend at the elbows. So you look like a half of a letter T if someone was looking down on you. Re-squeeze the block if you kind of lost the block squeeze. And let's do this again. So here we go. Press into the floor, squeeze towards your spine if you're seated, and release. Squeeze and release. 3 more. Squeeze and release. Squeeze that block too. Here we go. Squeeze, 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 and release. And one more time. Squeeze, 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 and release. All right, hands in front of you. Clap. Woo. Get some feeling going back on into those palms, into the fingers. This increases circulation, a little bit more blood flow into the hands, which is good, especially if you have some osteoarthritis in the hands. Yeah. All right, interlace the fingers. Shoulders down to the floor, squeezy palms, super straight arms. Elbows look the same. Yep. Okay, squeeze the block. Squeeze the belly button and bring the arms overhead. Now we do this slow. Don't let your arm weight like fling you into an ouchie space, okay? But we're trying to notice if we can increase our range of motion in that shoulder complex. So I'm here on the sides of my face. I'm going to wiggle my thumbs, squeeze that block, belly button tight, and then very slowly bring it back to in front of the chest and really engage that core. So a lot of sneaky core work in this class, as if you might guess, back yoga, yeah? Okay, release the hands. Clap the hands. We'll clap them again. Who wants a clap that doesn't sound like it's a clap, right? Okay. Get some heat. Get some circulation going on. Yay. Okay, back to that golfer's grip. Fold the fingers into the palms. Here we go. Turn the thumbs to the center. Bring the back of the arms, forearms parallel to the floor, perpendicular if you're here on your back. And here we go. Squeeze the block. Get a squeeze going on this one. This is the last round. Here we go. Press into the floor and release. Press and release. Keep the squeeze of the block though. Press and release. Two more. Press and release. Last one. Press, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Okay, hands in front of your chest. Clap the hands. Clap them again. Very good. Rub. Back to interlacing the fingers, squeezy palms, shoulders down, elbows look the same. Check. Okay, slowly. Arms up and overhead. Very much of an engaged core here. And I'm going to wiggle my thumbs. Ooh, I'm touching the floor. Ooh, I got down closer this time. Last time it was just the tips of the fingers. Just on the knuckles this time. I don't know what's going on, what made me have greater range of motion, but it's a good thing. All right, so squeeze that belly button. We're going to bring the arms back overhead. Here you are, challenging the core. Very good. Release the squeeze of the block. Clap the hands once again. Very good. Nice. Take the block out. Let's go back to shaking the legs just to get some kind of different feeling in the legs. And then stomp the feet up and down with a lymphatic drainage. And let's do the notice pose. So extend the leg all the way down. Ooh, snap, crackle, pop. And do the other one. And I'm going to kind of wiggle my feet, wiggle my hips, wiggle my shoulders. And it's not as tight feeling in the hip complex. I feel like kind of more connected to the floor now. doesn't feel spicy to me, or I don't know, just feels different than when we did it the first time. All right, so let me see what we're going to do next. We're going to do block bridge. I think we did it last week, but we're going to do it again. We're going to take that block. This is the number one reason for having a block. Plus, when we're seated, the blocks are great for helping with the hips and the knees. But I have a L3, L4 issue that sometimes it's kind of spicy when I lift up. So you can either do this with your own muscular strength. You walk your feet towards your behind, squeeze the buttocks, lift your lower body up and slide that block underneath, or use your hand to help guide the body up. And then I kind of move my block here low in the behind. Now I feel kind of crunchy here, so I kind of lift my shoulders and kind of walk away from the block, back of the head too. And so there's this kind of traction feeling happening. Plus, we've got a little bonus here. We're upside down. So if you have pelvic prolapse, which is, the rectum or the bladder, and then male, female, stuff, this helps kind of relax all that. You're working gravity a different way. So it gives everything kind of a break, okay? So a little bonus there. So let's raise the leg up into the air, and let's go ahead and shake that leg. So this helps us stay in the posture without noticing maybe the tension that happens when laying on a block. Again, this is number one reason for having a block. This really helps with easing back tension, okay? And shake it side to side. I always think side to side feels strange, yeah? Shake, shake, shake. All right, now I'm going to hang on to my block and raise the other one up and switch it out. And shake the other one. You may notice one leg shakes better than the other. It's okay. And side to side. Again, this feels strange to me. Now I'm going to do both. So I'm going to raise the other leg up and just kind of compete with one side versus the other. So I'm shaking and then wiggling side to side. Shake again. And shake it side to side once again. Very good. And then a little energy on the bottoms of the feet. I'm going to bring one foot down, then the other. Then I'm going to press into the floor, squeeze my shoulders, lift up, and roll the spine down. Yeah, this one's not as effective seated on a chair, so this is where you want to go to the couch and try it, yeah? Let's do notice pose. Extend the leg, and then the other. You may notice that your back feels a little bit more rested on the floor after block bridge, after what we've been doing before. Okay, we're going to transition to seated. So bring the feet back onto the yoga mat. So if you have SI joint dysfunction, so if you roll over in the bed and it hurts when you roll over from side to side, usually that means you have a little kind of misalignment going on in the SI joint. So what I do first is I lift up, then twist. I don't twist with weight bearing, because then it's just going to make it a little painful. I don't like that. Hand in front of me, I'm going to press and lift up, and I extend that top leg to come up. Sometimes when you come up off the floor to a more vertical position, there can be like room spinning or equilibrium shift. So sometimes you can just stay here for a moment, just a breath or two, and then continue on up to a seated place. Now, some folks have no problem sitting on their behind on the floor. I have lots of problems with that because, again, I have that 40-degree angle going on. So I take my yoga blanket or my big towel that I have, and I fold it into a rectangle. I fold it again, and I fold it again. So I have a nice little edge going on here, and I sit on that little bit of an edge. And that helps me not to roll more towards the floor and I feel kind of icky in my body, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to try to bring this in the halfway place. And then, again, I kind of sit near the edge of the yoga mat. I'm going to make sure my block's close by. And sometimes I'm able to cross my legs. Sometimes it's like, ooh, that knee gives me spicy stuff. Gentlemen typically have more knees up towards their chest than women do because of, the bony structure that we have. You can use your yoga block to kind of help support feeling better in a cross-leg position. I would use two, but that was too far away. Or you can, just have one leg be out, one leg in, or however's comfortable, or maybe transfer to the chair. So we'll be doing unsupported twists and side movement, and what else? Maybe we'll do a cat-cow here too. So this feels okay in my body today, but it changes every day, okay? So maybe one leg feels better more in front than the other. If you go to other yoga classes, they may tell you, we're going to do unsupported twists first. They may tell you, okay, take one hand, bring it across your body, put it on top of that leg. Now let's twist. Don't do that if you have back challenges because you can crank yourself into an ouchie spot, okay? I'm going to have you use your thoracic spine to do the work and not use levers to do the work. So it's better for those of us with back challenges, okay? Because we don't want to have more pain, we want to have less pain. So we're going to do letter W arms and squeeze the shoulders. So we're strengthening the upper back musculature when we squeeze the elbows towards the spine. And then whatever leg is in front, or your right or your left side, choose which one. We're going to breathe in, belly soft, remember that. Then contract that belly button, turn towards the side, the leg that's in front, or the left or the right. Now you keep your chin aligned with your chest. So it's all the thoracic spine doing this work. Breathe in, belly big. Exhale back to the center. Stay here, breathe in, belly big, squeeze those shoulders. Good. Exhale, twist to the other side. Maybe you twisted more, maybe it's the same. Breathe in, belly big. Exhale back to the center and relax and release those shoulders down. Kind of wiggle those shoulders up and down here. So again, depending if you feel spice on one side versus the other, when you twisted towards that side, you may have felt a little bit more. Again, redirect your attention to your breath when you're feeling kind of stuff going on. Next is going to be side lateral flexion. Whether you're seated on a chair or here on the yoga mat, scoot a little bit more forward in the chair to where you have a little space behind you. And you know what? I'm going to switch my legs. See if that feels better. Nope, it does not. Okay. Yeah, I've got some things going on with that right leg. So again, it's all kind of very interrelated. This side movement, again, we're moving spines, side to side movement, twists, and extension and flexion. So again, this is called side lateral flexion. So breathe in, circle sweep arms up. Now either have your hand beside you, now you can grab the underneath the chair, or sneak the hand back behind you. Now I like the behind me because then I can squeeze my shoulders again, more back upper strengthening. And we're going to inhale, reach up. Now belly button tight, and then bring the body up and over. Breathe in, and then exhale, bring it back on up and float it down. Very good. All right, we're going to do the other side. So inhale, circle sweep arms up. Now reach up. Again, I'm going to bring my hand back behind me and then reach, fingers up. Exhale, belly button tight. Bring that side body over. So this one I feel really tight on this side. Feels kind of odd in the body to me. It's okay, but it's not like the best thing. Bring it back on up and down. So we'll show another variation. You'll still do the same variation on the chair, but those of us seated, you can take your hand out to the side and then kind of inchworm out, bend the elbow, have this be a base of support. Can't quite do that in the chair. Here we go. Breathe in, circle sweep arms up. Hand goes down and inchworm it out a little bit, and then inhale or exhale, reach. Inhale, bend that bottom elbow and stretch that side body. See if you can feel it from that kind of the hip bone up through the side muscles and through the armpit, top of the arm. Okay? Now I'm going to kind of come back on up. You kind of bring that hand in and float it down. Other side. Breathe in, circle sweep arms up. And then the other hand goes down onto the floor, and I'm going to inchworm it out a little bit. And then inhale, reach. And then exhale, inchworm it out a little bit more. And get a little bit deeper into that stretch, into that lengthening sensation. Very good. Side lateral flexion. Walk it back in a little bit, and then come back on up and down. Very good. Since we're here, those of us seated on the floor, seated in the chair, place your hands either on your thighs or your knees or whatever you can kind of grab, seated here, maybe on your shins, and sit up nice and tall. It's a little sneaky pelvic tilt, which helps with low back challenges, but it's the cat-cow. And so what we'll do is breathe in, belly soft. And to begin with, let's curve our spine to the back of the chair, back of the room. And we're having our chin be parallel to the floor, so we're not dropping the chin in or chin towards the sky, which you might do in other classes, okay? So you may feel the broadening of the back away from the spine bones. You may or may not. And then stay here, breathe in. And as you exhale, contract that belly button, come back up to a tall seated mountain. So you may notice a little pelvic tilt happening here when you were curved, coming up to nice tall seated. All right, now we're going to do the forward fold or the cow version of the pose. So breathe in, belly big. Now contract that belly button and we're going to hinge forward. So you can have the elbows out to the side a little bit. Now this one I do sometimes jet my chin a little forward because I'm looking at the camera, but think about the ears being aligned with the tops of the shoulders. So, head aligned with the spine. Breathe in, belly big. And then exhale back to a tall seated mountain. We're going to do that one more time. Exhaling. Breathe in, belly big. Exhale, curve to the back of the room. Get that cat back going on. Very nice. Stay here. Breathe in. Exhale, back to a tall seated mountain. Breathe in. Stay here. Exhale, hinge forward. Here we go. It's kind of a forward fold here. Very good. Inhale, stay here. Belly soft. Exhale, back to tall seated mountain. Beautiful. Now we're going to do cat-cow again, seated on the chair, or we're going to do flowy cat-cow on the hands and knees. So for flowy cat-cow, if you have excessive curves in your neck, in your low spine, kyphosis, lordosis, then you do the safe version of this. So again, when you go take other people's classes, you have back challenges, try to do the flowy cat-cow instead of what they teach to have a safer experience, okay? So I'm transitioning onto my hands and knees. I have a spicy knee. I think I've mentioned that a couple of times. So I'm going to open up that towel, that yoga blanket, kind of here on the back end of the yoga mat, and then come onto the yoga mat. So I have my hands traditionally underneath my shoulders, my knees underneath my hips. And, the traditional cat-cow is curve the spine to the top of the room, contracted, belly button towards the spine, and then exhale, belly down, and flare in the tailbone. So again, that's sometimes too much for that low back, for the upper back. Sometimes people look up to the sky and then tuck the chin into the chest. For flowy cat-cow, try to remember this. This is part of yin yoga. You come on, you slide your hands a little bit more forward, come onto your forearms, and then for me, I can't quite get my behind to my heels, and I go on curly toes too when I do this. So I shift my elbows a little bit more towards my knees, and I'm going to bring my forearms apart a little bit more. And so this helps me facilitate behind a little bit more towards the heels. Might feel a broadening of the upper back, mid back also when you do this. So there's a little technique to this. So inhale, belly soft, drag your nose up in between the forearms. Once your nose kind of gets aligned with the wrist, contract your belly button, peel the forearms off the yoga mat and shift a little forward with a contracted belly. Curve the spine to the top of the room. Shift your behind back to your heels for your cat portion of the pose. Then again, inhale, drag yourself forward for cow. Get to those wrists, contract the belly button, peel the forearms off, curve to the top of the room. Come on down. And again, inhale, shift it forward, belly soft. Contract the belly button, and then come up to a curvy spine, and come on down. All right, now we're going to come back to tabletop, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We're going to come up to standing this time. You can bring the foot out to the side, bring it up in between the hands, curl the toes. I'm going to use the yoga block. You can also use the chair, hand on the block, hand on the floor. Curl that back toe, lift that back knee, and I'm going to take that back foot, hop walk it near the forward foot. My knee is nicely bent. Hands on my hips, hinge up. And then sometimes again, when we come up to upright, there's some dizzy business. So hands to heart center, feet wide, chin towards your chest. Let the heart rate kind of go down a little bit. As you're doing that, I'm going to move my yoga blanket off the yoga mat. And I'm going to get my lightweight metal chair to the front or the long side of the yoga mat. All right, now you've taken a little breather break, and you move the camera a little bit so you can see the arm movement. Okay, maybe. Well, we'll see. Okay, so if you're seated in a chair, You're going to do what's called a letter L formation of your legs. You have one knee kind of sitting here in the middle of the chair, and then the other leg, you step it out, and you come away from the back of the chair so your behind's not pressing into the chair. And we naturally turn to the center. We're going to turn our torso out and over the front leg. Now don't let that other leg drop in towards the floor. We're pressing vigorously into the floor with that little twist of the spine. Now for those of us standing, let's bring those feet wide. You do not have to use a chair, by the way, if you just know that, okay? And then again, if you have that SI joint dysfunction, my recommendation is lift the heel, then turn the foot. Don't do a weight-bearing twist of the foot. And then bend the knee towards the short end of the yoga mat. So what you're trying to do, see, are the toes aligned with, and I'm leaning over here, toes aligned with the knee, and I'm trying to be upright, though, when I do the warrior two posture. So I have nice long legs, so I go a little bit wider than most folks. Okay, so the key is being vigorous in your posture for bone building, muscular contraction, strengthening. So we're just not standing here, we're not just sitting here. Let's be a little bit more vigorous. So think about there's a wrinkle on the floor, and you want to smooth out the wrinkle. So you're pressing down, so press down with your feet, with your legs, and think about pressing opposite ends of the room. So you're activating that hip complex a lot. Even if you're seated in the chair, this is very vigorous. Now, go back to letter W. So you're squeezing the shoulders, getting the upper body, strengthening posture going on here. And then go ahead and extend those arms with squeezed shoulders out into that letter T. Maybe bend the knee a little bit more. Very good. We're going to move through the yoga posture just to add a little variety to this. So if you're standing, what you'll do is inhale, straighten the legs, hands to heart center. Inhale, hands to heart center if you're seated. Exhale, bend the knee, arms letter T. Squeeze the shoulders, arms extend out. Beautiful. Firm feet into the floor. Here we go. Breathe in, bring it back to a softly straightened leg. Big O breath there. Exhale, letter T. Squeeze those shoulders. Love it. Let's do two more. Breathe in. Relax the shoulders as you bring it in, and then squeeze those shoulders, extend those arms out. Very nice, very nice. Firm feet into the floor. Remember, you can just do one arm if you need to, hand on the chair. And again, exhale, bring it back, or breathe in, sorry. Got my breath mixed up. Now, last time. Exhale, arms letter T, squeeze those shoulders, arms extend out. Beautiful. Now, there's just not floppy arms. They're very much in control, very much of a dynamic contraction going on here. All right, softly straighten the leg, bring the foot in. If you're seated, pivot the foot, nice and slow, heel toe in or jump those feet in. All right, now we're doing the other side. So if you're seated in a chair, sit the leg out, turn the torso to the front of the room. Those of us standing, you know the drill. Step those feet out. One precaution, never have lotion on your feet before you do your yoga class because there might be some slipping and sliding going on, okay? So turn your toes towards the short end of the yoga mat, bend that knee, get adjusted. And again, I'm looking to see my foot aligned with my knee, okay? And I don't care how you have the back foot, just so you feel firm into the floor. Other people are sticklers for how this is, but for me, I want you to be able to press vigorously into the floor when you do this dynamic contraction. So go back to that letter W, here we go, and maybe bend the knee a little bit more. Again, firm feet into the floor, smooth out that wrinkle. I love it. And from here, arms letter T, stay here. Now press firmly into the floor. Beautiful. Inhale back to the center, relax the shoulders, straighten that leg. Very good. Exhale, bend the knee, arms letter T. Press firmly into the floor. Maybe you're bending more, maybe not. Again, know that you can always use a chair. Inhale, bring it back to the center. Exhale, squeeze those shoulders, arms out into that letter T. Here we go, here we go. So sometimes you go deeper in the pose because you're not staying in the pose, and that's okay. Inhale back to the center, relax those shoulders. Kind of notice what those shoulder blades are doing, okay? Squeeze those shoulders, arms out into the letter T. Nice, nice. Firm feet into the floor. F, F, F. Inhale back to the center. And then one more time. Here we go. Squeeze those shoulders. Here we go. Firm feet into the floor. Arms sliding out into that letter T. Lovely. Bring it back to the center. And relax and release. Pivot the foot. Walk it in. So those of you seated in the chair, we're going to be doing tree posture next. So you would bring your block a little bit more forward, and you would have your foot on the block turned out to the side. You're kind of near the edge of the chair, and you can go ahead and bring the arms out, but squeeze the shoulders as you're bringing the arms out, and you're pressing vigorously into the floor. Those of us standing, we're going to step a foot out to the side, lift the heel, turn the foot, and then it's one knee one direction, one knee the other direction. Make sure your balanced foot, the one that's pointed towards the camera, is not going out to the side. It's all nice and lined up, pointed towards 12 o'clock. Now, I tend to jet my hip out when I do this, so I try to really think about, okay, balancing foot, it's just kind of a somewhat of a straight line from the outside of the ankle to my armpit, okay? So you can come up on the ball of the foot and start walking it in. Maybe it can stay here with arms out to the side. Maybe you can slide it into your calf. Now, not the knee joint, okay? Maybe you can put it into the inner thigh. Maybe not. But the key here is the leg is out to the side, all right? So you're getting into the nooks and crannies of that hip joint and thinking about lengthening from the pubic bone to the collarbone. So be nice and lengthy up. Now, I'm using a chair because I have balance challenges. You may notice the dance of the foot. In fact, I'm going to release this down a little bit. That does not feel comfortable in my body. Again, you don't have to do exactly what the teacher is doing. You make it your own, and that's okay. Woo! And release. Move a little bit side to side. If you're seated in the chair, move your block over to the other side. Slide, slide. Yeah, slide. And I'm going to show the wall version of this. You know, you need to do these balance postures at home, right? Maybe you have the hand on the kitchen counter or maybe up on a wall. And again, step a foot out, lift the heel, turn that foot out, and again, make sure your balanced foot's pointed towards 12 o'clock. And then, you know, start walking your hand up the wall. Maybe the foot stays here on the floor. And again, you don't really notice that this is, you know, more than one leg because I'm having that knee be in alignment with the thigh, yeah? Maybe you can raise it up to the calf. And again, I do notice lots of folks, their knees start to travel to the front of the room. So try to have it out to the side. And again, think about a straight line, being firm, maybe both arms up. Now, like the wall, because I can get both arms up most of the time, and I have the wall here to come into if I need to. Again, you may notice some muscular tension going on with the hip complex. Typically, you would stay in this one 30 seconds, but a lot of folks are not able to manage that, and that's okay. We just do what we can with what we got, okay? And release. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to come back down to the floor. And again, I use the chair, so you're coming down to the floor however is best comfortable for you at this moment. Let me use my yoga blanket here, or my yoga mat. And again, let's get into constructive rest posture, shall we? So again, next week is chair Tai Chi. Be sure to sign up for that if you would like to, you know, explore that modality. And again, you're noticing, how does this feel being in the floor, the back side of the body, the low, you know, behind the hips, the shoulders, mid-back, if possible, low back, upper back, back of the head. And then let's do notice posture. Extend one leg all the way down. And then the other. You may want to shake the feet, shake the hips, shake the shoulders. So typically, in guided rest and relaxation, you're either seated or you're lying on your back. Now for some folks, those of us, again, with back challenges, this may not be still very comfortable, so there's some alternatives. You can, you know, bend the knees with the feet super wide, wider than your yoga mat, and drop the knees in, or about the width of your yoga mat. So that's very nice feeling on the back. Again, legs could be extended. Some of the favorites of a lot of folks is this is why they probably keep a chair or go over to the couch. They do legs on the couch. So this gives a little additional traction feeling, a little bit more sensation of relief. You would take your legs on the seat of the couch or the ottoman, or on this chair. I do the chair sideways, so then I can kind of walk my behind away a little bit. There's this little traction pulling sensation that just kind of releases stuff going on with the spine. Now, some folks don't feel comfortable thinking, oh, this leg is going to fall out when I get super relaxed. I just cross at the ankle to make sure that that doesn't happen. The other alternative is to have legs on the wall, but most folks won't do that unless they have a strap around their thighs so they know for sure they're not going to go flipping one side or the other. So, I think we have a little video about legs up the wall, legs on the couch on the Veterans Yoga Project YouTube channel. So look for that if you're more interested in that. So again, I invite you to get comfortable, whatever that might mean for you at this moment. Maybe you take something, cover your eyes, maybe you cover up with a blanket, and just do what you can. And I'm going to come up to the front of the room for our guided rest and relaxation portion of our class. And again, I invite you to get a little bit more comfortable, breathing in, breathing out. So I invite you to notice if there's any areas in your body that are still holding some tension with the breath. You breathe in and think about redirecting the breath to those areas to soften, relax, release, let go. Good. A couple of more breaths just like that. Just notice that you're breathing. Don't change it in any way. Just notice, what does it feel like here to breathe in? And what does it feel like here to breathe out? From the top of our head all the way down to the tips of the toes, notice the shoulders, the back, the hips, the legs, the feet, the back sides of the arms, maybe your belly rising and falling as you breathe in, as you breathe out. Just let everything soften into the surface that's supporting you. So wherever your body is touching a surface that supports, just notice your body being very heavy, weighted into that supported surface. And the front places of the body. Notice the air coming across the skin. Notice how light your body feels in the front places compared to the back places of the body. Good. And again, together, take a nice, slow inhale breath and a slow exhale breath. And if you're on your back, I invite you to bring one knee into your chest, then the other, and maybe move a little bit side to side. Kind of give your back a little massage there. And if you're here on the chair, have the knees be wide, hands on the legs, and draw some wide shoulder circles. It's a very similar effect, kind of lubricating the shoulders, the back, the low back. And reverse direction, whether you're on your back, seated in the chair. Nice. Come back to the center. And again, if you're lying on your back, place the feet on the yoga mat. Go ahead and roll over onto your side. You're seated in the chair. Come more up to the front of the chair, sitting up nice and tall. And if you're, again, laying on your back, on your side, go ahead and press into that hand. Come up to a tall seated place, wherever that might be for you today. And let's just place the hands together. We're doing a little pressing together. It's called Swimming Dragon. We do this in our chair Tai Chi class. And we're going to shift the hands one direction and turn the head the other direction. Just noticing your range of motion in your shoulders, your neck. And then bring it back to the center. Now let's press the other direction, turn the head the other way. Again, press palms firmly here. Very nice. And then back to the center. From here, we'll do what's called spread the feathers. So we take the hands out to the side and lower a little bit. And then you turn your thumb to the back of the room. And then take your ear to your opposite shoulder, do that. And then you draw a circle with your chin and bring it to where the opposite ear is towards the shoulder. And then draw a smiley face with your chin. and smile it back and release. You may have noticed some little crinkling going on in the back of the head when you did that. Let's do the other side. So bring the hand out to the side, lower the arm, and then turn the thumb to the back of the room. And again, lower the opposite ear towards the shoulder, and then draw a circle, draw it up, and all the way back to that position. Then think about drawing a smiley face with your chin. Smile it to the other side and back to the original position. And release it back to the center. From here, we do what's called an atlas point. So basically, you're taking your nose and drawing a circle. We're doing this very slow. Now, if you tend to get dizzy, have your eyes look forward instead of following your circle. So we're going to bring it up and a little bit around. So what you're trying to notice is if there's any little sounds going on, any little crinkling, a little crepitus going on. That's basically the name for sound in your bones, yeah? And then pause, and let's go the other way, shall we? So get it going on the other direction. Very good. And back to the center. From here, let's do something for the acupressure points in our bodies. Let's tap the outside of the pinkies. That's for lessening our vertigo. Breathing in and out in that low belly if you can. And let's go into the interwebs of the hands for lessening nausea, digestion, upset tummy. So you kind of tap into those hands. Now you're not like whapping, but you're tapping, okay? Yeah, okay. And then switch it. Very good. My bracelet's making a noise there. And then from here, we're going to do the interwebs of the fingers, kind of in the valleys of the fingers. Watch your rings. So tap, tap, tap. That's for neck and shoulder pain. Now stop. Notice which finger's on top, and then switch the finger. Feels strange, huh? Go back to tapping. Very good. Next one is for limb pain. You're going to take a cuppy hand, so you have a little kind of cupped hand here, and you're tapping softly on top of the hand. And let's do the other side. Here we go. Kind of makes your veins pop on your hand. Not pop, but you know, they kind of get more, you can see them better, yeah? Now back of the wrist, that's for arm, neck, back pain, okay? So top of the wrist. And let's do the other one. I'm tapping my watch. Now the one I like the best is making a fist and punching into my palm to kind of, you know, stress reduction. Now you can be a little bit vigorous on this. Make a little noise. Do what you can, right? Now let's do the other one. Notice if it sounds or feels different. Maybe one's more strong than the other. This is my less strong side. Very good. Find your collarbone and kind of go down, I don't know, about 2 inches. We're going to thump our thymus, increase T cell production during this. We're getting into having to have those flu shots, right? So once we pass the age of 30, we start having a big drop in our T cell production. And so this helps stimulate the thymus gland, which is right underneath where we're tapping. Very good. Clap the hands once again. Rub some heat into those palms. Let's just do one more little thing, boost our memory. Let's tap our brain, tap our head. So you go up the center, that's for reducing headaches, tension on the sides. I can't remember what that one's for, but we do it anyway. All right, now bring your hands either stacked upon each other on your heart center or hands together. We're doing our gratitude practice next. And I invite you to drop your chin towards your chest. Are you just showing up today? Yeah? Very grateful for that. Thank you so much. Let's think about one thing that we're grateful for, or maybe an idea of gratitude, yeah? And we'll bring that and then put it into our heart space just here for a moment as we reflect upon what we're grateful for. Very good. Now you can keep your chin towards your chest or lift your chin to gaze forward, eyes open or closed, and we'll do our ending sayings for our class today. So the light in me honors and respects the light in you. Let's take the peace, the strength, and the understanding, and that little attitude of gratitude. Let's pass it on. Namaste, which means the bright light in me honors and respects the bright light in you.